up next we have Scott Savitt. He is a senior partner director of digital with Connelly and Partners. Scott, welcome to the stage.
Thank you. I promise to dumb it down for you, Isaac. Just a quick setup. Connelly Partners is a fully integrated advertising and marketing agency, and we have a digital group which I head up. And what I wanted to talk to today is about destination marketing, but developing a truly omni-channel brand. And our client, the Massachusetts Office of Travel and Tourism, is sort of the example we use. We've worked with them for about 10 years, and with the change of government, usually that means new governor, new client, new agency. So we've ended our relationship recently, but I wanted to just tell the stories and probably, hopefully give you some lessons that we've learned on how to build a truly omni-channel brand, a tourism brand. So I think you might need to click the next slide, Julie. Thank you. So how many times have you seen this slide in presentations? And it's true today. It's really complicated to manage the travel decision journey. There are so many influences, so many channels, from your web to social, email. How do you really sort of do all of these things effectively? And another, we've heard a lot today, delivering the right message at the right time to the right consumer. This is an interesting chart of a trip that's 45 days out. And on the vertical axis, you see the number of digital content and impressions that a person is going to be exposed to leading up to, and then the same day of that trip, they could have all of that impressions. So there's a lot of noise in the marketplace. So for Massachusetts and the Tourism Board, we decided that we wanted to create an omni-channel brand. How do we use all of the things at our disposal, all the channels, and truly create something that's omnipresent? And so you see all the mobile phones. We knew from the data that we have seen that we wanted to be mobile first in pretty much everything that we did. And the other reality, which I know a lot of you have to deal with, is sort of the business requirements that don't necessarily mess with the user requirements or your customer requirements. We have 6 super regions in Massachusetts, and each have to be marketed equally. So it's very easy to spend a lot of time marketing Boston or the Cape or the Islands, but the Merrimack Valley needs as much presence as Boston, so we had to distribute our content effectively and evenly. And so what we tried to do is really this notion of empathy. We talk about empathy a lot at our agency, but for us, empathy is about really understanding shared values with your consumer. How do we tap into that? And that's how we develop our content to be omni-channel. We really think about what is most relevant to our customers. So for us, it started with personas. And we built these personas out not as just web personas, but living, breathing personas that went beyond just the demographics. We went into psychographics, into behavioral data, and tried to tell a story about each of our segments that could ring true with all of our different disciplines. So someone in search or a designer or developer could really understand who this audience was. And what came out of that research, which we found really interesting, is what we called this BuzzFeed mentality. Is people don't want to work really hard when they come to like a tourism board website like Massachusetts. They don't want to work really hard to figure out what to do. They want you to curate content. And so we took this BuzzFeed sort of mentality and we curated content for them on our website. And that allowed us to get into a more disciplined content mapping. And we started out very simple. So you see we have our international visitor persona, in-state and out-of-state. And we were able to sort of carve out the type of content that was going to be most relevant to them. So tourist attractions, itineraries for the international visitor. We knew that in-state visitors who come in, they want secret places that are outside the norm. And so now we have all of this omni-channel presence, but there's all of these ways that we can push out this content. What channel do we do it in? How do we talk to our consumer in what voice? And so all of these disparate ways to do it, we really knew that we had to measure everything that we did, and that analytics would become such a huge part of what we did. And so instead of the old model of sort of reviewing spreadsheets and data, we invested in a cloud-based analytics platform. This particular one is Domo, but there's a lot of great tools out there from Tableau, Sweetwater, you probably know a lot of them, where we could aggregate all of that data together and do the plumbing. So GA, your Salesforce data, your email data. We could actually look at the data in a holistic manner and have one channel influence the other. And for us, it's all started with the website. We built the website from the ground up. And it was all about engagement for us. So how do we develop this curated site with immersive experiences to draw people in? So the front of the website is very engaging. We totally redid the navigation so it was much more inviting, just to get people to that second click where we can draw them down the funnel. Now, Massachusetts doesn't sell anything. Our job is to drive to the business industry, like hotels. So we created these profiles for hotels or other businesses to come in and create these little spaces within Mass Vacation so that they could have a robust space, and then we can draw people in and drive them to the destination that they're going. The other thing that I feel is more of the elbow grease of marketing is SEO. And so we created a blog from the ground up. The blog for us was SEO optimized every day. We tried to generate content 3 to 4 times a week, but it was not just the normal places in Boston that are easy to market. They were about the hidden gems within Massachusetts so that people were really drawn in. And the other thing, we did a lot of planning with our content. What was key, though, is how can we be opportunistic when possible? And so you see here are just 3 examples of when the Boston Red Sox were in the World Series, we created this infographic on the best places to get a beer or eat, or weather-triggered emails. And the same thing with our paid media. We didn't have a huge budget to drive but we decided we wanted to be always on, but we used really focused digital media, such as paid social and social blog posts that worked. We optimized those and pushed those, as well as native advertising became a huge. Themed content around our empathy became a huge part of what we did. And then lastly, we've heard some people talk about user-generated content today. This was really important for us to do this in the right way. We had to be authentic. We had to drive that empathy in drawing the right sort of it. So this is just one example. We found that Instagram and Twitter were sort of our channels of choice that really worked for us. And we were able to drive real content and get inside of conversations already happening and just sort of facilitate those conversations. So the last 2 slides are results slides. What I'm most proud of is if you look at the traffic that we drove to mv.com, that's massvacation.com, which was the website, from 2012 to 2015, we almost doubled it. And a lot of that was around sort of optimizing the content that we have in the SEO work we did. And then as well as 26 Digital came out with all of the states across the country and the top level of engagement. And they looked across all of the disciplines and see what sort of engagement. And we came in second next to Michigan. Michigan spent a lot more money than we did on media, so it was all about sort of driving that engagement through really great content. Thank you.